Welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. It is awesome to catch up with our next guest. Of course, you may be very familiar with him being a super agent in the National Football League for 5 decades. It is incredible to see Leigh Steinberg still doing it at a high level, getting ready for another NFL draft coming up here. Leigh, it's really remarkable that you've been at this so long, and I do want to certainly talk about this book that you have because I think it's super intriguing to find out all of the stories that you're now sharing with the public. But thank you so much for coming on the show. It's great to see you.
My pleasure, Craig.
All right, so Leigh, before we get to the book, let's talk about this here. I mean, what keeps you going on here and doing this for so long? Another NFL draft's coming up in a couple of weeks. I mean, you certainly have accomplished everything that there is to accomplish being an agent, having a movie made about you. For those unfamiliar, Jerry Maguire, 30 years of Jerry Maguire, one of my favorite movies too. What keeps you going here, Leigh?
A passion for trying to make a difference in the world. So the athletes are role models, and they retrace their roots to the high school, collegiate, and professional communities, set up scholarship funds and charitable foundations. And I've been very active in the journey to try to discover how we limit concussions and how we put some highlight on that. We do an agent academy in a couple weeks that trains young agents, and there are always new challenges.
Yeah, definitely so. And by the way, Leigh's book is out. It's The Comeback, a playbook for turning life's setbacks into victory. So there's a number of things in the book, and you see that QR code on your screen, folks. For those of you who are streaming, just take out your phone. You can scan that QR code either now. We'll show it at the end of the segment too. Leigh, 51 drafts for you. I can only imagine there are so many stories in the book, but the one in particular that I love the story that you tell so well is one of the most popular quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, Troy Aikman. My gosh, when you had Troy Aikman and he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys, the turn of events that happened so quickly after is incredible.
So this book's about resilience and coming back. And in Troy's case, he's the first pick overall in the 1989 draft. He gets picked and promised the world by the Dallas Cowboys. And then a month later, they have a supplemental draft, and they draft Jimmy Johnson, the new coach's quarterback, who took him to the national championship. And all of a sudden, Troy, with very little talent around him, is ensconced in a quarterback controversy, even though he'd been promised he'd be the long-term quarterback there. So it tells a tale that life will inevitably set us back. It could be financial, it could be health, it could be relationships, or it could be, as in my case, substance abuse. And the question is, how do you recover? How do you show resilience and the ability to strike a better future?
And resiliency, the story of one of your other longtime clients and good friends, Warren Moon. I mean, before this day and age of the last 20, 25 years of the National Football League, Warren Moon, one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, but had a hard time convincing teams, Leigh, that he could be quarterback in the NFL. I mean, simply put, teams did not draft and develop African-American quarterbacks until they gave Warren Moon a shot.
I know it's hard to believe now, but there was a period where there was great doubt as to whether a black quarterback had the wherewithal to play the position. And so Warren goes to Canada for 6 years, where he's most valuable player. And then he comes back with 12 teams bidding on him to be a free agent and plays 17 more years in the NFL. So he and I grew up together with 23 years together.
And Leigh, we have about a minute to go here. The book is called The Comeback, a playbook for turning life's setbacks into victories. I know certainly this is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and stores as well. And what would you encourage people to learn most about you, Leigh, when they read the book?
That the quality of being able to get back up on your feet, the quality of being able to envision a better life than current circumstances is important for us all.
Leigh, it's been great to catch up with you. I've always had fun through the years. I look for that invitation to your Super Bowl party every year if I go to the Super Bowl to make sure I am there. Leigh, thank you again. Enjoy your rest of your week.
Thank you.